Morning. I just want to say it's awesome to be here with y'all. If I make any mistakes, this is my first time getting up in front of a church in a long time, so I apologize in advance. But I was talking with Granddad, and he just thought it would be good that I share kind of what my connection is here, because this is a very special place to me and my family. So if y'all don't know, we haven't been introduced, I am Tristan Tapia. I'm the grandson of Dorian and Sherry Flynn, and my mom is Laura Tapia, previously Laura Flynn, and I know this place is really special because I was told on the way here that, my mom got baptized here, and, I just thought it was really cool and felt it was something I should mention. But I have recently made a decision to come on and join and partner with Partners for Africa, and I just wanted to say, with knowing what this church has done and what it has been able to give people is just amazing, and I'm so excited that I'm going to get to work with a church that has, blessed my family so much and has blessed others. And there was just a scripture I was looking at, and I just wanted to read it. It's in John 6:27, and it says, this is right after Jesus feeds the 5,000, and then he goes over, and then the people follow him, and he says, do not work for the food that perishes, but for food that will give, do not work for food that perishes, but for food that will give you eternal life. For on him God has set his seal. And I just thought it was really good, just because y'all, as much as y'all give, and y'all have given people in Africa an opportunity to, have clean water and to, eat real meals, y'all are also giving them a much greater opportunity with what y'all do with Partners for Africa, and giving them the opportunity to have eternal bread and living water. And I just wanted to say thank you to y'all for just helping us out and doing that, and just thank you for being such a huge impact on my life. And I didn't even really know it, but I'm so glad I've got to come here and spend time with y'all and meet y'all. So I just thank y'all so much, and I know what Granddad has to say will bless us, and it'll be coming from God. So thank you.
So yes, it's always a joy to be here at Main Street, and we always leave pumped up. Sherry and I are glad we can be here and be with our grandson. This is our team, and it's been growing. Next slide. Of course, Sherry and I, we met with the elders here. In fact, this month, February, 17 years that we have partnered together. And I want to thank you all for that, because everything that I'm about to share with you, it's part of what you are doing, because you make it possible. So I want to thank you. Next. And Haley and Noma, you know about them. He came over here to Heritage University, got a computer degree at UNA, and then his wife has just got her master's in chemical engineering. They both work with us full time. She helps with the science part of our school, and he's our co-director there in Southern Africa. So we are glad for them. Next. And then last August, Lee came on board. That's his son. And Lee's our second child, and so he handles stateside. He's co-director stateside. So it's amazing how the Lord, a few years ago, somebody said to me, Dorian, you're getting on in age. Do you have any sort of, runway here as far as people taking your place? And I didn't appreciate the question, but no, it's so look how the Lord is blessed. Lee came on board, and then next, this is Tristan at 5. And he was helping us load a truck. Now, I cannot say for sure, but it could be here at Marlin when we would bring a truck, when I would come, and he would travel with me from time to time. So I don't know if it's that, but I do know here's a little boy helping here, and look at today. So we just excited. Next. That's him just a few months ago in Africa with his brother, by the way, who comes with us as well. His brother's a sophomore in high school. But we are so glad that Tristan, and with Lee and Tristan both, they we did not campaign. We did not push for them. Granddad and grandma are missionaries. We expect none of that. Lee called and said, I'm on board. And then December, Tristan, who had already got a job, they were training him for management in this company. He was doing really well, and then he just called me. We were in Africa, and he said, Granddad, I want to be full-time in the Lord's work. And so we are excited. So we are thankful for that. Next, we are in Zambia, and Zambia is one of the new works that we have expanded in. As you know, before we baptize somebody in a river in Africa, we check for crocodiles, okay? So my daughter had an easier time when she was baptized here at this baptistry. Next, her and I both, by the way, I baptized her. We have a radio program that's going on all the time there. We had last year from the radio program, we had 59 to obey the gospel, just from our Zambia radio program. We try to think of all ways we can reach people through our good works, through our proclaiming of the word. Next. So the gatherings there, we had over 1,000 come to this leadership seminar. But what happens there is you say it's a leadership seminar, so you think it'll be just for those that are attending the churches of Christ and are teaching and preaching. Well, they invite their friends. So what happens at the end of the day? Next. You teaching people because they have their friends, and their friends are asking questions now. So then you end up with another class, start teaching them. And this one day we had, I think it's 10 there that were baptized into Christ. But every day we had people immersed into Christ because of their friends coming and listening to us. And some of these people they don't have a Christian background, and they're learning about the Lord, and we are thankful. Next. And so it makes for a great spectacle at the end of the day, You've had lectures all day and now this wonderful spectacle. Next. We deliver food, and I want to thank some of you families here too. The Bradfords have been part of this they've probably been part of this for about 15 years or so. We've got the Beasleys. We have the ladies' class here that has faithfully given towards this. Others of you individually, this good work, man, of feeding people that are starving, You've heard me say it before, but it's so true, When they say they're hungry in Africa, it means they haven't eaten for 2 or 3 days. When we say we're starving here, it means we're having lunch at 1 instead of 11. It's kind of different. Next. And so here are people that have no food, that we have singled out, the leaders of the church have singled out these people that are going hungry, and we are delivering food to them because of the finances that come from you all. Next. This is Namibia, big country. When I say big country, the area of that we work in is so large. Well, let me just give you 2 examples. Namibia, one example. Zambia, and one country, and now the third one, left that out, South Africa, are bigger than Texas, each one of them. And so we in a vast area, we're working in 7 countries now. We started with 1, and now we are expanding. When I say our team that is supported here in the States and over there, but we have got thousands of volunteers and churches and leaders that we are working with now, and so it's just a work that has just blossomed. Next. This is a Backdoor Bible Club team. This team in Namibia of men and women, they go around and they knock on doors and they ask for their children. They say, listen, on Saturdays, we have this backyard Bible club. We would love for your children to be a part of it. And you living in poverty, it's not like America. We got umpteen things we can do, but not there. And so when the children see there's some activity, well, they come and they learn about Jesus. They get a plate of food, they play games, and before you know it, you've got children, parents observing what we're doing, and before you know it, you have an opportunity to plant a church. And this team in Namibia is just an amazing, amazing group of people. Next. So here they're teaching these children. If you'll notice, the boy behind him has no shoes. In fact, most of those kids have no shoes. But now they're teaching them how to pray. And they're learning about Jesus for the first time and how to speak to Jesus. Next. this is some of the leaders. I won't spend much time on, but some of the leaders in Namibia, and we work with right now, over 500 leaders in Southern Africa. Next. This is a wonderful young man, De Villiers, who is baptizing this older man, and him and his wife are just a dynamite team in South Africa, another part of our team that works with us. We don't pay them anything, but I mean, he is a soul winner, and we help them with a lot of our resources. Next. This is the congregation that he planted. Over 300 to 400 attend on Sunday mornings. We had a youth leadership there over just before Christmas, and there was about 400 young people that came. Next. If you'll notice the sign, Church of Christ, then this is in Cape Town, South Africa now. Then you'll notice on the left, East Ridge Christian Academy. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, you can. East Ridge Christian Academy. That is a school that is begun by the Churches of Christ in a high-density area in the city of Cape Town, South Africa, which population is about 4.5 million. And so they're in a crime, there's gangs there. And those church leaders will tell you, we're not going anywhere. You see their windows? It's all just covered up with steel, because of the gangs. But they said, we need to be here. And so they opened up the school, and so Partners for Africa is helping them with some of the materials and stuff like that. Next. So I just wanted to show you this picture. This is the East Ridge Christian Academy, and that's Theo and Amy. Theo is the preacher at the church there. He also helps with the school, and Amy runs the school. Now, can I just tell you that some of the pictures I show you aren't great because they are taken by people in Africa who don't have cell phones like us. So it's inferior quality, but I'm so glad to get the pictures. That boy is a student there at that school, and he's been honored because during the year of 2023, he memorized 500 scriptures. 500 scriptures he memorized. You talk about photographic memory, which I don't have, man, that blew me away. Next. This is for some of you that help in our feeding program, this is a boy that's eating Christmas. He's eating cake for the first time in his life. It was a Christmas cake that they saved some of the money feeding them on a weekly basis so they could provide them a Christmas meal. And he's biting into cake for the first time. Once you've experienced everything, the next joy is to observe other people experience it for the first time. Next. This is the next well that we're drilling for. We planted a church last year in an area where we started a backyard Bible club. Got all these children coming. Their parents started coming. And now I'll show you a picture of the congregation now that we've planted there. A half a mile away is where they go get their water. So you see where they dig in their water. Just out of a dry riverbed. And you can see the color of the water. That's why they don't live long there. And so we're going to drill a well for them. That's how they go get their water, the elderly women. They pay this guy that has a donkey and cart, and they give him his buckets, and then he fills it up for them. Next. This is the congregation, brand new. We just planted it, and we're looking to plant 3 more. Next. Some of the children that you're all helping to feed, I love it. And as I mentioned before, the plates, there's nothing left on that plate. I mean, nothing. They don't ever look at the plate and say, well, I don't like that, like sometimes my children and grandchildren have said over the years. Next. And this happened Sunday, a week ago. We had 8 baptisms at that church. You see the same color water? They had to go get a donkey cart, fill it up with buckets, come back, fill up that mobile baptistry, and they baptized 8. And we rejoiced. Next. So you can see, this is the preacher, Mtosa Banda, baptizing one of those last Sunday. But you can see our stats for 2021. It says 1021, I messed up. 2020, 1,021 baptisms. I'm sorry, 2023. 8 baptisms at Dema, and so far this year, 132. I do want you to know that in the 17 years, we have planted 97 churches, and we've got 3 set to be planted this year, so we can have our century, and it's special. Next. leadership training. We have preachers that come all the time, and that come and lead these men in training. And that's Shaq Arrington. He's been 14 times from Texas. Just a wonderful, seasoned preacher. Next. So, the men of one of the new churches we planted said that we've got 5 villages in the area, and we need to visit them. So they had a meeting with me. So when they said they needed transport, I'm thinking truck. And I know there's no way. I don't raise money for trucks, and we don't raise money for church buildings either. All our funds is used for good works and to spread the gospel. These men get together and said, Brother Flynn, could you just help us get some bicycles? Oh, man. I thought that was great. But they said, listen, we do have one stipulation. It needs to be thick tires because the roads are so bad. So there they are. They go out on their bikes, man, and they go to those villages and visit people. So some of those men, there is one guy, 73, but he's riding that bicycle, man. He's going. Next. Some of the feedings that we do from time to time. Right now, it's rainy season. They're not getting much rain. So we're going to have a massive drought coming. There's just no doubt in my mind. Next. One of the things that we have helped with, you try to think of all ways that you can touch a community. So we have this compassionate ministry that we began about 1.5 years ago. Because there are villages who lose loved ones, just like it happens all over the world, and they have no money. And so we provide some funds with guys that will build them a casket for their loved one. We will go there with a truck. We will pick up the body. We will take it to the morgue. The body will be examined. The funeral is going to be back at the village. We'll take the body back. And then we will also provide food for the family, because most of the time they walk from other villages. So before the funeral takes place, it's probably 3 or 4 days with family trickling in. And so we provide food for the family while they are in this initial mourning period. And I'm telling you, we've already planted 3 churches because of that. People wanted to know what, they just couldn't hardly believe, Next. Campaign teams come all the time, and this year is no different. We've got about 50 coming. And from Tennessee and Alabama and Florida and Texas and Oklahoma. We're excited about it, and we are thankful for that. Next. Just wanted you to show the guy in the middle with the blue T-shirt. His name is Sheldon. When we were missionaries in Antigua, we met his father, and then met his mother, who they weren't married at the time. And over the years, he serves as an elder with the Villa Church that we planted all those years ago. And now that he's one of the products, and he is doing his master's here in the States, but just a fine Christian guy, and came, and he got on a soccer scholarship, so he worked out with our young high school team a few months ago. So that made it special. Next. This is our school. We've got 3 classroom blocks right now. We've got a sports building that we just completed. We are building a gym right now. Next. And now we're starting the 4th classroom block. Next. Sorry. So back up just a minute. So I want you to see, I know that's not the best of pictures, but that girl, I'm telling you, she is one powerful girl. And she just, we had a track championship, and her and another guy our school's only 3 years old, high school, and we don't even have seniors yet, okay? And she's gone to state for shot put. Next slide. And he's gone to state for high jump. So they celebrating, So, when you get a child, first of all, a child that many don't know anything about Jesus Christ, you get them, but you want them to get an education too. And you want them to experience the whole, So we want them to experience that. Next. And now this is our freshman class. This class began January, because their school year is from January to December, like our normal year, not like our school year. So now we have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, okay? And then next year we'll have our first senior class. And just so excited about it, Next. These 2, Majoli on the left, Abigail on the right. We give 2 scholarships a year right now, and it's for those students that get the highest score in Bible. And if they do that, they get the next semester free. Children, the parents don't have to pay for it. And these 2 are our, I guess you could say right now, they're top of the class when it comes to Bible. And we did that because we want to emphasize what's the most important thing in their lives is that they know Jesus Christ and they know what Jesus wanted them to know. Next. And what happened? Do you know when we opened up the school the first year, we had no baptisms? Because we were a Christian school. First of all, we were the only high school in the area. Then we started teaching stuff that they did not know anything about and nor their parents. Well, some did, but not all. But boy, as the years has gone by, this past year, they started to commit to Jesus. And we baptizing them now. And we are so thankful. And we know we've planted a church on the campus, and now the parents are coming to the campus. I really believe it'll be the biggest congregation in Zimbabwe in the not too distant future. Next. We're just proud of our science lab. A rural school in Africa has got a science lab. The elected officials in the area, they just come by just to see it. Nothing special. They just want to see it. They couldn't believe it, you know. And now, because of a lady by the name of Ginger, the Huntingdon congregation, who came last year, loves computers, and she said, the next classroom block you build, I am going to make sure that it's a computer lab, the one class, and I am going to raise money and furnish it. Well, I got a call from Will Mayan, he was the youth minister at Huntingdon, and now youth minister in Florence, Alabama, and he said, I want you to know Ginger has raised $10,000 for your for your computer. So we're excited. Next. So there's the slab to the new classroom block. Next. And that's it going up. And I wanted to show you those pictures because I want you to know it's not that expensive to build as far as compared to the United States. And once it's built, you'll see there's no wood. It's all brick. The only wood are the trusses. And there's no AC or heat. So there's no central units because the weather there is really wonderful, but they don't live with air conditioning. So that makes it maintenance minimal. You know, you don't have all the insulation you got to put in and all of that. Next. So, Jesus and his disciples have left Galilee, and now they're going to Caesarea Philippi, and they're going through all the villages there. And while they're walking, Jesus says, who do you say that I am? And some of them say, oh, well, they tell you, one say John the Baptist, some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, some say some other prophets. And then Jesus says, who do you say that I am? And Peter nails it. You are the Messiah. You are the anointed one. You are the one, he didn't say this, but with all the knowledge of the Jews, that prophet of old, that was called the Messianic prophet Isaiah, all the things he said, that's who he is. That's who you are. You are the Messiah. And then Jesus says these words, Mark 8, latter part of it. Then Jesus began to tell, and Peter's going to make some missteps, but this is not a misstep. Then Jesus began to tell them that the Son of Man must suffer many terrible things and be rejected by the elders, the leading priests, the teachers of religious law. He would be killed, but 3 days later he would rise from the dead. And as he talked about this openly with his disciples, Peter took him aside, began to reprimand him for saying such things. There's a misstep. Jesus turned around and looked at his disciples and then reprimanded Peter, get away from me, Satan. He said, you are seeing things merely from a human point of view, not from God. Jesus is saying the immediate future is not glorious. It's not glamorous. But after this gritty reality, 6 days later, you flip to Mark 9, and they are about to experience, well, it's the mountaintop experience. Unforgettable, transitory moment in their faith journey. Jesus took Peter, James, and John, led them up on a high mountain, apart by themselves, and Jesus transfigured before them. Meaning, Mark says, listen, a guy at a laundromat couldn't get the clothes whiter than this. It was like snow. It was blinding, the whole of Jesus. And there appears Elijah. He's the prophet that told people, listen, your disobedience has got to stop, and you oppressors have got to quit. And the other one is Moses, who he's the lawgiver. He brings down the tablets, We all have these voices, by the way. I mean, Jesus says you're on an earthly level. You're listening to all this. That's setting your standard. Let's go to this mountaintop. You need to listen to some words from the Father. Listen, we all have these voices and pressures rushing at us. Swirling voices from our culture and human traditions and philosophies, both religious and secular. Pounding away through social media platforms and through other avenues that are telling us. And then Mark says, then a cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, this is my dearly beloved son, listen to him. Can I just break down those last two statements? This is my beloved son. Heaven proclaims the divinity of Jesus. This is my beloved son. Heaven proclaims he is completely and thoroughly and fully loved. Now what? Listen to him. You got all these voices coming from you, supposedly sincere people, and the Bible says, God says, listen to him. Meaning what? It's a listening of action. Listen and obey him. Listen and follow him. Listen and be transformed by him. Listen, love may not make the world go round, but love is what makes life worth living. You see, love is something that is done. And we come here together and we celebrate this victory in Jesus because we're proclaiming in one way. And by the way, I love the thoughts presented at the communion service. But we are saying, Jesus, we know love is action. And what you say and what you did, we want to emulate. And I just want to let you know, on the behalf of Sherry and me and Tristan, that although we are not together much, we know you are proclaiming, you are listening to Jesus, and it's all about him. And while you are here in Marlin, we are doing the same in Africa. Because the world, with all its changes constantly, fluidness, we still going to listen to Jesus. You got to begin that walk. And I've always loved the passage when the Apostle Paul is recounting his conversion, and Ananias says to him, listen, okay, so now you're facing this great transition in your life. You're not going to persecute Christians anymore. Listen, don't tarry any longer. Be baptized and wash away your sins. And let's get started. If there's anybody here like that, come on, give your life to Jesus and let's get started. Listening to him. Won't you come as we stand and sing?